Mr. Smith.
Yeah, what's up? What's good? What's happening? Welcome to the King and Me show. I'm one half of this thing, King.
Hey y'all, it's me, Michelle. I know you can't tell I'm different, but how
She
y'all
said,
doing?
I'm different. I'm different. We are live today, the first Monday of the month, the day before somebody's special day, which we're going to announce here in a second. But before we do, it's a new month. So you know what we have to do.
Bam, we got to change our
So
calendar.
I don't know what the September photo is.
I don't know if
All right.
August is going to flip the way
So when you get that flipped, let me see what it is, and I can see what the memory was.
Hey, that actually worked well.
For what we did last year.
You ready?
Okay. Yep.
1, 2.
Hey, I don't know where we were at.
We were outside in the parking lot.
Okay.
It was my birthday.
Good deal.
It was my birthday. We had just recorded or something or done something. And we were outside in the parking lot.
Oh, that's one of my favorite shirts that you was wearing.
Oh, I know.
All right. We got some early people in the building. Shout out to Tarika Smith, same name as me, but we are not related. But, you know, that's a good last name. Good last name. I appreciate you popping in. Said support the show. You can hit us up on CashApp. Actually, we have a one directly for the show. Boom. Thank you. She said, Queen, I love your hair. Your birthday is tomorrow, so let's talk about it. Okay. Yes.
My birthday is tomorrow, y'all.
Her birthday is tomorrow. And I have a little something for her.
Uh-oh.
She does not know what this is, and I have kept this a secret.
Because it's a surprise.
Hey, answer this. Is a surprise a secret? And is a secret a surprise? Y'all let me know, because I'm trying to tell her things are sometimes kept secret so that they can be a surprise. And I have some for her. I have some for her right here. I've had it for a couple of weeks now. I've been able to keep it a secret for this long, and I wanted to give it to her on air.
Okay.
It's relatively simple. It shows it's symbolism. It's a little bit of you and me together, and it has something to do with you. So I want you to take it, and I want you to open it on air.
Cry?
You might cry.
Okay.
You might cry.
Y'all, I'm nervous.
You might cry.
I'm nervous because King doesn't give gifts.
Yeah, I'm not a gift giver.
He's not a gift giver.
At all.
But he's been he hasn't told me what the gift is. He did say that he was getting me a gift, and he was very much like, I'm going to keep the secret from you. And I'm going to not drop hints or anything like that. Because know I drop hints and stuff like that. So you're looking for your camera?
Oh, no. Okay. This is the camera.
This is the camera?
Yeah, we're about to get this reaction live.
All right, y'all. Let me shake. I don't know. I can't really tell. Okay. All right. I'm ready. I'm opening it. Okay. I'm opening the box.
Opening the box.
But my eyes are closed, so I can't see anything.
Actually, go ahead and open the box. There's something that's going to fall out. I don't want that to fall out. Okay? Go ahead and open it. So it's wrapped, so you're not going to be able to see it anyway.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you can open it. You can set it down.
All right. So we're here. Mm-hmm. Being dramatic.
You can pull that whole thing out and set the red box down.
Oh, my God.
Now pull it out. Set the red box down. Now, while you're showing people what it is, read the back.
Aww.
Yeah. Happy birthday, babe.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So in the back it says established 2022.
So the reason why I wanted you to get it today versus tomorrow, I wanted you to take it to your classroom with you tomorrow. And I was going to try to meet you in the morning to give it to you, but I couldn't remember what time you actually showed up to work. And I didn't want to ask you and spoil the surprise. So I said, I'm going to give it to you today, but it's two elephants, trunks touching,
Trunks up.
with a heart sign and both of our names, and then just etched in wood in the back, established 2022. Look, I'm not a gift person, right? But I was trying to figure out something that I could do that I know would mean something to her. So if she ain't like this, it would have been a wrap for any future gifts. So
This is so sweet.
awesome.
Thank you.
Good deal. You're welcome, babe. You are welcome. So her birthday is tomorrow, y'all. She'll be, can we say it on air?
Yeah.
Okay, so she'll be 38. I'm 40. She's 38. I didn't reach back too far in the cradle. And but I hope you have a really pleasant birthday. You are going to be working on your birthday tomorrow, such is life. But we are going to be taking a trip this weekend. So let's talk about that a little bit. We're going to be going to my ex sister-in-law. I don't know the proper term for it. She's retiring from the army, so we're gonna go congratulate her and thank her for her service, as she served over 20 years in our United States Army. And that's no small feat, especially for a woman of color to make it 20 plus years in our armed forces. So Michelle and I are going to fly out for that. That's in the future, but in the past, we want to give a shout out to the Harrises. Promote conscious parenting, aka Mr. He Said and aka Mrs. She Said. They invited us to their house for a game night. We streamed it too, played some spades. It was Michelle and I's first time playing spades together. Her first time in over a decade playing. So there was a little bit of a warm-up factor going. But here's the thing. I'm big on communication, and Michelle and I, we communicate well, in my opinion. Space is all about communication. So I had no doubt that her and I would actually make it through the night and still like each other, let alone love each other. But it was easy breezy. The support was there. We played well. We actually won, and
we won. So when we played against the Harrises, we did win, but then respectfully, they put in their daughter and her daughter's partner, and they kind of mopped the floor with us just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
They came back and they redeemed the Harris name in their own home. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
All right. So Tarika said, "Don't cry, Cream."
That's like really, really thoughtful. Like, I need you to know that's extremely thoughtful.
Good deal. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was like, I hope this goes well. Cause yeah, I'm telling you, I've given gifts in the past that weren't well received, that I thought was well thought out, in my opinion. One that wasn't even my fault. Prior to the Amazon days, I gave somebody a gift that I thought was a Bed Bath and Beyond gift basket, and they ended up receiving a whole marzipan bread basket in their dorm rooms and called me out all kinds of ways out of my name. And around that time is when I said, I'm never doing gifts again, because they didn't necessarily seem to go. She said, did we play with jokers or ace high? So we did Joker, Joker, deuce, Joker, big Joker, little Joker, ace of clubs, and then, I'm sorry, big Joker, little Joker, deuce of clubs, and then the ace. And yeah, we ended up doing okay. So we had a practice round in the first game to reacclimate Michelle to the rules and the strategies and things like that. And the Harrises were also great enough to talk strategy out loud so that Michelle could relearn the game. But then once she relearned it, she was in there and she was money. And one of the best space partners a guy can ever ask for. So thank you, babe. So shout out to the Harrises. We appreciate y'all inviting us into their home, as we are YouTube content creators, but strangers in person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for them to invite us into their home like that and have a game night and meet their lovely family, that was great. We appreciate y'all for that and want to make sure that we acknowledge that publicly. All right?
In hindsight, giving that to me at the beginning probably wasn't the best idea. Like I'm, I'm struggling now. I'm struggling.
All right, now, babe. So we're about to get into our topics. Were you able to pull a question from our thing as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
So coming again from the game, Let's Get Deep. We just pulled one card. What's the most embarrassing thing I've done in front of you?
You haven't done anything that I've been considered embarrassed. Like I'll answer that for you. For me dancing in public in front of you is probably embarrassing.
You've never danced.
So I've never done like a shimmy at all, or just done my little 2-step where I kind of go like this. I think it's embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing.
I feel so uncomfortable dancing.
I recognize that you feel uncomfortable, but it's not embarrassing. You don't look bad.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have anything because we've talked and we're big on not embarrassing each other in public. I will never intentionally, let me say this very intentionally. I will never intentionally do anything at your expense to embarrass you. And if there is something that you're doing that could be embarrassing, I'm not against saying anything. Is that spam?
Mm-hmm.
Block.
Here.
Yep. Boom. All right, our block game is strong.
Yes.
So ignore Rejoice Shemite Malley, as we can't do anything on that comment until it goes away. If you can add something, thank you, baby. Mm-hmm. So today's topic is going to be a little bit different from what we normally do, but there are two important subjects kind of wrapped into one that couples don't necessarily plan for or think about until you're in the thick of it. So we're going to talk about it to make sure that we're on the same page.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is there was a viral TikTok in which a lady asked people about, she was asking other women if living with men was worth it. And a bunch of married women came into the comments and said, absolutely not. So I'm going to play the video and then I'm going to show some of the comments that popped up. And I'm going to ask Michelle her thoughts as a woman who, this isn't a secret, her and I are planning on cohabitating together sometime in the near future. When to be determined. I'm going to ask her thoughts on cohabitating. And if there's anybody out there, women that are married or non-married, I'd like for y'all to chime in as well and give me your thoughts on living with a man and cohabitating and just how it's turned out. So let's play the video and then come back.
Over 35, if cohabitating with men is really worth it. Like, is that something that I really should be looking forward to in my life? Like, let me.
So she ended it with like basically saying, oh, nope, wrong video. She ended it by saying like, tell me your thoughts, yada, yada. And I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. That's what she said. And some of the comments that popped in on this, starting with this top one here. I've been with my fiance for 7 years and will be married this autumn. I really hope I never make her feel what some women are expressing in these comments. I love her to death. So this was a man who I guess had ran through some of the comments and is in support of cohabitation with his lady. This lady right here, Lauren Lucille, said, happily married here. And I say this without weirdness. If he dies first, and he knows this, I will not do it again. So does that come from the fact that, she's a little bit older and just don't want to go through cohabitating with somebody else again? Or is it things from her current husband that's making her go, this ain't what I thought that it was going to be? Ginger Rose said, absolutely not. No, partnership can be lovely, but I would strongly recommend keeping your own personal space and keeping your finances separate. Let's see. That be sweet potato. Short answer, no. Long answer, no. All right. When we have an overwhelmingly answer of I would rather not do it. Let me see.
Because I didn't read any of this, but the little synopsis that I read said that like over 8,000 people had commented, or I guess over 8,000 people said no.
Wow, this person, I had to permanently close the foster home for broken men. This to me is speaking to the people that you choose.
The quality that you're choosing, not so much them.
Not so much them. It's the ones you allow to come into your home. The ones that you allow to yourself to cohabitate with. Miss Brown, you need to look at yourself, homie. Let's see. Steph said, I love my husband with my whole heart, but he will be the last man in my life. You say that now, Steph. No, you know what? I'm not going to speak ill like that. Not going to do it. Getting married was the single worst decision of my lifetime by a landslide. Totally obliterated my life beyond repair. This is usually how men would talk about marriage. But look at what the ladies are coming in and speaking on married and or cohabitating with a man. Whoo, whatever algorithm this lady's video hit, it is overwhelmingly, here's a big nope in all capital letters. Nope, a great handyman that comes and fixes things and you give him money and he leaves is top tier. So this person says, I'm using a man as a utility. Ah, man, at the beginning of my relationship, I would have said yes with exclamation points. It's the best. Now, 10 years in, I say, keep everything separate. Don't live with a man no matter how in love you think you are. So let's stop sharing for now.
Go back. This woman is like 2 years younger than me. 36 and married, not worth it. I love my husband, but I wish we could afford separate residences. Oh
my gosh. So the article summed up a couple of different things here, and I think we have some comments. These were some of the ones that we've read. Absolutely not. Let's see. He needs to be incredibly amazing, loves you more than you love him, and always wants to make you happy. Oh my goodness, no.
You shouldn't have seen that one. Oh no.
Oh, my head hurts.
Oh no.
My head hurts. Other than that, it's a hard no. Always wants to make you happy. Do you know how dangerous that is?
That is very dangerous and unhealthy, extremely unhealthy.
I'm not joking when I say every friend of mine that is married, even happily, says that they would never do it again. I've said that at one point.
But why is it happily? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Nope, I'm living alone for the first time ever. This piece is glorious. Not worth it. I love my husband, but I wish we could afford separate residences. You and I read that one. 12 years into a marriage and I never do it again. I'm not unhappy in the relationship, but please leave my house. My house? My house, not our house?
Maybe it was hers going into it.
You know, it could be. That happens. At the beginning of my relationship, okay, yeah, I already read this one. So this was a bundling of some of the comments that were on this particular video.
Stay single and childless. Enjoy your life and financial freedom. Babe, this is not looking good. This is not looking good at all. Oh my gosh.
Hey, babe. The women have spoken. You want to move in with me?
Still, forever, yes. Yes.
Goodness gracious. Shout out to the real Precious. I miss you, Precious.
I miss you too.
And I don't miss nobody, so I don't mean that.
Wait a minute. I was about to say.
I know that you do your shows on some of the different nights, and hey, look, shout out to you at your new um career situation, and we haven't tapped in to see how that's going. I am trying to make it on some of your other day shows, but those days can be difficult.
She said she liked my hair.
But I appreciate you popping up. Let's see. She said,
that one.
Love your curls, Shell.
Thank you.
Yeah, she said, I miss y'all too.
It's my birthday hair. Tomorrow's my birthday.
Good deal. Good deal. So, babe, let's talk about it. What do you think? These women are overwhelmingly saying that it was not worth it. How does that make you feel? You've cohabitated with a man once in your life.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about that specific situation. How was that?
It wasn't bad. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, we did break up, but the living together part wasn't bad. I was the neater one of the two of us. So
you're the neater one between me and you as well. I'll say that publicly.
For him, there was that adjustment period of, keeping things a certain level of clean and, understanding Saturday morning you could very well wake up and the house is going to smell like bleach and there's nothing you can do about it except, breathe differently. But other than that, I wouldn't say it was that bad. I feel like we acted and did things on one accord for the time that we were together and there weren't any issues.
Okay. All right. So overwhelmingly, you would say didn't have any issues.
Yeah, no, I would say it was fine. And I want to say we lived together for a year and a half, maybe altogether.
Okay. Well, y'all know, if you don't know, I was married 14-ish years, and we were living together, and I really didn't have any issues either. I'd be curious to know like what she would say, because I'm not the neatest, right? I can leave 10 million cups in one location.
I know, I went upstairs.
That is still that way. I'm trying. I'm getting a little bit better at that. Before you came over, I'm not going to tell you how many cups was actually in the room. But I didn't have any problems cohabitated. Now, there's this guy that I follow. He's a content creator, Coach Greg Adams. He talks about living the free agent lifestyle, which I say that I adopted that philosophy. But in it, he talks about these 3 tenets: no marriage, no long-term relationships, no cohabitation. And he says that if you as a man can follow those 3 tenets, it can allow you to be focused on what you need to do to succeed and build wealth and find your purpose. And then once you have obtained that and you understand what your value is, if you want to get into a long-term relationship or a marriage or cohabitate, you should know what your value is by then, but you need to not be focused on this a significant other in order to achieve that. That's my breakdown of his philosophy. And he even says that too. He says that people think that he says don't get married. He's like, no, that's not my message. I'm not telling you not to get married. I'm telling you to understand what your value is by doing these 3 things before you get into a marriage, because it can allow you to really understand what your value is. And to me, it made sense. I'm going to tell you right now, I started to adopt those philosophies. And it was that plus a combination of therapy and things that allowed me to turn things around, because things weren't, I'm in a fantastic place now. I was not in a fantastic place like the end of 2020. So I hear them women, these women talk about no cohabitating, and I'm like, wow, these are things that men have been saying for years, and now it seems like the ladies are coming out and speaking too. But, and I say this with all love, what are some of these women going to do?
So you say
join a coven?
I look at it and I'm like, I realize it's a response to something on TikTok, but then I'm like, but what happened? So what happened that is pushing you to say that? We understand that from male's perspective and from a man's perspective, and they'll say it that like, women are this and all that. But what happened, women, that's making you say that? Because men are typically protectors. So what is happening in your home that you're like, no, I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to go on anymore. What could it possibly be? And that's what I don't understand. My thing when I lived with my ex, there were no issues. The only thing that we differed in was that I cleaned differently than he did. And I don't believe in getting in the bed at night without taking a shower. So like after you come from the outside, I believe that you need to like take a shower. So that was an adjustment thing for him. And then, the whole bleach thing. But other than that, I'm just like, I feel like we were okay.
Okay. One last cup. Before I leave it all behind, I'm gonna put you out of my mind this last time. Thanks, Precious.
I heard you carrying that tune there, baby.
Hey, you know what? In my head, sometimes I think I can carry it
You
too.
are. You are.
I'm
y'all proud of you.
Y'all let me know. Let's see. Let me see. I want to try to find some supportive comments here. So let me bring this back up on the screen.
It has to be at least one.
And I'm going to try to find other supportive comments that would talk about this. Let's see. No, don't do it. My hubby just finished a Costco-sized box of treats and didn't even save one for me. This is not the right time to ask me this question.
But that seems like it's kind of good.
I'm
going to hit that. Joke. Yeah.
I'm going to hit that like button on that because that made me laugh. Hey, 39. I bought a house for my dog. Oh, we live the happiest life. This is a lady named Alex. That is a yes, that's a lady. She said, me and my dog. Hey, at least she ain't got herself in 8 million cats.
Wait, here's one.
Okay.
Here's one.
Yes, I think this one we read. Okay, only if you have a competent, loving partner. My husband cooks, cleans, does grocery shopping more than I do because I work longer hours. He's emotionally intelligent and supportive. Just find the right guy who cares. And that's what we talk about here at the King and Me Show.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily somebody that says people have to have certain gender roles. I do say that you have to communicate what it is that you're going to do and what it is that you're just not a fan of, so that there's expectations of what you're going to do inside of that relationship.
Exactly.
Right?
100%.
Now, for example, this isn't necessarily a gender role thing. I'm not a Mr. Fixer-Upper type dude. I know next to nothing about auto mechanical issues. But Michelle called me this past Wednesday, right before I was about to do some teaching, and she wasn't calling me to have me fix something, but she was explaining, hey, babe, I got an issue. My parking brake lights won't turn off, right? Mm-hmm. And long term, that could be a huge thing because it could drain the battery. You don't initially know like what the issue is to have that fixed, yada, yada. And I'm literally 45 minutes away from teaching, and I had to get some other stuff set up. And there was something else that I was thinking about trying to do too. So
I think you were trying to go to the gym. No,
I was trying to work out earlier.
The cleaning lady was here.
Yes, and I had a cleaning y'all. I got a cleaning lady. Like that's how baller life is right now. But but she was here too. So I'm trying to juggle all these things. And when she called and said that, I was calm. I was like, all right, bring me your car, drive mine. I trust her driving my car, and I'll look at it when I'm done with this whole live stream thing. So that's exactly what I did. I figured out what the problem was. I didn't have to pay. Did you know to diagnose, if you take your car just to have them look at it, depending on where you go, it could be anywhere from $50 to $80?
Yep.
That's insane just to have them look at it.
Because you got to pay for that person's time.
Yep. I fixed it with an $11 part, and it took less than 55 seconds. The reason why I know that is because I needed proof that I did it and I didn't pay nobody to do it, so that she could look at her man and go, ooh,
look at him.
He fixed stuff. So I filmed myself fixing it.
And it was like a 51-second video.
And it was a 51-second video. So instead of her going out, paying somebody for them to look at it, and then realize that it was a 50-second fix with a $11 part, the part actually could have been cheaper because I bought it directly from the car dealership. If I ordered it myself, it might have been $4, you know? But I bring that up because I didn't do that as somebody that, oh, well, I'm a man, I must fix her car. Ah,
hear me roar.
Hear me roar. That's not why I did that. I had no clue. I don't know how to fix car stuff, but I do know how to try and diagnose things myself in a manner that isn't going to stress me out or anything like that. And I'm not saying she's like that, but I'm like, hey, I don't need you to worry about that. Bring me your car. I'll work on this. When I fix it, you'll get it later. And then thank me later. So thank you for just following instructions.
Thank you for trusting me. I'm sorry. Thank you for helping me. And then thank you for letting me, use your car. Like I told you, my coworkers were like, either Michelle got a new car or someone stole her unofficial parking spot. So I was happy to be able to get my car back and be able to use yours in the interim.
The Real Precious said, ooh, he fixed stuff. I know that's right.
He's a good man. A good man.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I want to read one more thing, and then we're going to close out this topic and move to the next one here. So this lady says she's 47, and I multiple times a week think about how lucky I am. I don't have to share my space or stuff with a man. I'm 38 and single in New York City, and if I meet a man, at a minimum, we're living in a second room. I need space. I'm not going to say who this person is because she sometimes watches my show and I don't want to put her business out there like that. But I know somebody that was married and divorced. She is now with somebody. They are in a real healthy, happy relationship. Both of them were previously married. Both are now retired. They ain't trying to live together. And this came from the one that's closest to me. I will say her gender. She is a lady. And she was like, I like my space. She said, it's a good thing that, when him and I want to spend time together, we can. But when I just need to just have my space, he has his own home. I have my own home. And they live around the corner from each other. I actually see some value in that.
Hear me clearly. I respect people for knowing what they want and for saying that this is, how I'm going to go about it. But I personally, I'm not about that life. I want to be with my partner. Like for me, that's the whole thing, to be with my partner. I want to wake up every day and see your face. I want to go to sleep every night with you by my side, like holding me and wrapping me in your arms. Like that's what I want. I don't want the long distance. I don't want the separate homes type stuff. No, like I'm good. I'll get my space when I go to work. I'll be fine.
A little bit about what you said, though, makes me a little bit nervous because that goes into our next subject, in which we're going to talk about Judge Mathis and what he made the claims on was the reason why his wife of 38 years is divorcing him. So I know what you just answered. I know why you answered it. You and I've talked about this in the past. And let's be clear about something. She made her position known. And if I, as a man, or the other person, because let's say the roles were flipped. Yeah. If the other person isn't on board with that, don't just agree to what that person is saying that they require just because you want to be with them. Because in the end, that's not going to work out. If you're somebody that's like, man, you know what? I got this home. I like what I have. I might if she come in here 2 days out the week. That's straight. But then on that day 3, hour number 73, she got to go. Like, if that's how you really feel, you have to say that when that person offers up what it is that they're asking for. If you don't, y'all are lying to the person that's lying is lying to themselves, and you're not being honorable to that other person because they came to you and told you what it was that they're asking for, and then you're just only giving it to them because you may want to use them for a little bit, or you're like, man, I really like this person. I don't want him or her to go nowhere, so I'm just going to agree to this, even though it's not how I feel. Please don't do that.
Right.
Please don't do that. Okay, I think we can close this out. The comments here, this one right here. These comments are not what I expected. And the original creator said, I'm honestly shook. So, wow. Uh-oh.
Again, I look at it, and I've known someone who was married, and like I didn't know her personally. It was a friend of a friend type situation. She got married as an older woman, and she didn't move in with her husband. They lived in separate homes. I look at that and I'm like, that goes against the Bible. And then I'm also like, on the flip side, for people who are dating, okay, I understand that. But most of these women who responded are married, and they're like, they would never do it again. They would never do it again. And that's the part that catches me. I'm just like, why? Like, again, I look at things and I'm always wondering the why. Why would you never do this? We hear men explicitly say why they don't want to do it. But from a woman's perspective, what are you losing? So I look at it, last week we talked about an independent woman.
Mhm.
I'm like, are you loving your independence and not willing to compromise that? And you feel like being in a relationship requires you to be submissive and to have to compromise more than you're willing to compromise because you're an independent woman and you don't want to do that, and that's why you're saying you would never want to live with a man again? Or what is it? Because, and I say this respectfully, from a woman's standpoint, we benefit by having a man in our home. And it's not one of those gender role things like he can do this, he can do that, but we do benefit from having someone else live with us. And some women will say that and then have a roommate. Like, how is that different?
Mm-hmm.
So those are things I don't understand.
I thank you for speaking up for this side of the ladies that are saying, no, I'm not about that life. I think you've been fortunate enough to, on the one time that you did cohabitate, it wasn't a bad situation.
Yeah.
And I think with what you know about me, you said that you were worried that I'd be the one that would have issues about how clean you like to keep things,
because
how
I'm
tidy
OCD.
that you like to keep things. And I'm like, that's a good thing. It's going to take me some getting used to. It's going to take me some getting used to. The whole, if you go outside, you got to shower before getting back into the bed thing. I'm like, even if I just walk to go get the mail, you're like, yep. I came in the house today after helping somebody jump their car off because, I'm fixing things now. And you were like, "Ooh, you smell like outside." I'm like, I was only outside for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but you smell like outside.
Man. And this was after having a shower today because both her and I, we got out on this Labor Day and we worked out this morning.
We put in that work.
We told y'all it's been a process. We getting there.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage y'all to see where we're at one whole year from now. It'll be cool to see what our calendars are going to look like
next year,
2 cycles from now.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then we have the photographic things to just be able to take a look at and say, appreciate the journey and where we've came from. I'm looking forward to it because I know I can see what's going to happen.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if we got any comments before we get into Judge Mathis. All right. Let's see. The Real Precious said that it could be about control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she said that they don't know how to control themselves, so they don't know how to be submissive to order.
Facts. 100%. Because that's the only thing I can think of. Very respectfully, you live with a man, there's that innate protection that comes. A man is naturally not going to let anything happen in his household. So you get an element of protection right there. Men are providers instinctively, so they're going to provide. And I can't see what it is aside from the fact that you just don't want to let go of something that you're doing. You don't want to relinquish control to an extent. And That's yeah.
Said a man with vision sees it before you see it. You know what?
You're a good man, King Smith. A good man.
We met Precious, and y'all. Let me tell y'all. There's people that when you see them online, you really hope that they're how they say that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Precious is exactly how she says she is.
100%.
And we enjoyed seeing you when we came up to Philadelphia, and we need to make something happen again.
Yes.
Oh, show.
Please and thank you.
All right. Judge Mathis. Let's talk about Judge Mathis real quick.
Let's get into it.
So I have to bring up some stuff here, so let me get my notes. You have Judge Greg Mathis.
Ooh, first name.
He's a retired Michigan district court judge and the longest serving African jurist on television. All right. His show, Judge Mathis, aired for over 2 decades and became a popular courtroom reality TV. Congratulations on the long-term success. Sir. That's rare air. All right. Judge Mathis grew up in Detroit and wasn't necessarily an upstanding citizen the entire time. I learned in doing some research, he actually got arrested while he was, I don't know if it was still in high school or shortly after he graduated high school, but something that he talked about was that it was a judge that gave him a second chance. Mm-hmm. So he took that second chance, went to law school, had to fight because of his arrest and everything. Yeah. He had to fight to get his bar, whatever thing like legitimized, because it's not just automatic just because you pass it. You still have to get it stamped or whatever, approved. Yeah. Well, whatever the process is. And because of his arrest record, they didn't want to do it. So he had to take it up a level to the Supreme Court, and he won it at the Supreme Court. So he talks about how he was able to turn things around, and that's one of the things that he wanted to do as a lawyer and a judge himself, is to recognize people that may not have had the right people around them to show them a proper path, and to allow people that deserved it to have that extra chance. Okay. So he turned his life around and earned his law degree, eventually becoming a judge. His wife, which, did you know his wife's name before this subject or doing any research? Mm-mm. I didn't either, which is why it's hilarious that the story is about him and his possible upcoming divorce, because I'm going to play a video where he's saying that, hey, I'm fighting for my marriage. But his wife's name is Linda Reese. Did y'all know who his wife's name was? And I mean, no disrespect to her whatsoever. We know who he is. And they did have a reality show, but I don't have cable like that, so I didn't know it was called like the Mathises or whatnot. It went for a couple of seasons. They had a reality show showcasing them, their family, and their kids. Their kids are all grown. They're in their 30s. All right. I think he has 2 girls and 2 boys. But his wife's name is Linda. Mm-hmm. They've been married since 1985. They have 4 kids together. She is often described as a supportive partner throughout his career, and I'm foot stomping that, and has been involved in various philanthropic activities. Linda occasionally appeared on the Judge Mathis show and in various interviews alongside her husband, where they often discussed their long-lasting marriage and family life. Like her husband, Linda is involved in community service and charitable activities, particularly those aimed at helping underprivileged youth. Now, that background gets us to where we're at now. Okay. If you've been around television or pop culture in general, you've likely seen the commercials or episodes, or maybe just on YouTube or whatever, Judge Mathis and how he is and the way that he talks. Seems like a very no-nonsense guy. It was announced this month or last month in August that his wife is filing for divorce, citing irreconcilable difference after 38 years. And initially, when you hear that, Michelle, what do you think about divorcing after close to 40 years of marriage? What's your first two thoughts?
The first two thoughts is infidelity. Like, you're always going to just jump to there's some level of infidelity. The other thing is maybe, well, no, that still falls under infidelity. I don't know. I jumped to automatic infidelity.
Yes, and that was my first thought as well. So you and I were actually on the same page with that. I'm thinking you have this guy, handsome dude for his age, has some success, has some wealth. It is not going to be hard for him to be a target. Let me just say it that way, right? If he's wearing certain kind of watches and he's moving in certain circles, you see him coming out of certain cars or certain areas. When he goes to these sporting events, he's not sitting in the peasant seats like I would be. He's coming out of suites or whatnot. So you see this man, moderately attractive, or you could say handsome for his age, that makes him attractive in the eyes of people that might want to get some of that, right? I think even if you don't know who he is, but you see how he carries himself, that makes him a target. So I did assume that it was infidelity as well. Well, he was coming out of an airport or traveling to an airport, and TMZ caught him. And let's hear how TMZ approached him and listen to the words that he says in describing what he's trying to do. This is about a 2-minute video, but it's worth the entire 2 minutes. Take a listen.
Hey, Judge Mathis, how are you today, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I want to ask...
I'm not good, rather. It's the worst days of my life. How about that?
Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I wanted to ask you, with news of the separation, how are you holding up?
Not holding up very well. I would say the other man, maybe I'll be an example for other men, cautionary tale. Don't neglect your wife. See how I'm here at the airport now, flying out, as I have for 40 or for 25 years. My wife has been third, serving the community, taping my show, having fun with friends. That's what happens, guys. Never be too busy or never have too much fun beyond your wife.
So I do want to ask, the date of separation is listed back to July 17th. Has this been coming for some time now, or was it something out the blue?
Well, ever since we started taping here in LA, I committed to staying home more and making my wife more of a priority. But as you see, I haven't. I'm still here on the road, doing the same thing. And in terms of going out into another city. But I was gone for 3 weeks. That's what July 17th meant.
Would you say you two are in a good place right now, or able to maintain a friendship? Or
oh yeah, we're still in the same house and we're maintaining a friendship. And I'm trying to get my wife back. I have to show her that though. Hopefully I can show her while we're there together before, and hopefully she doesn't complete the process. But I'm changing in hopes that she will. I'm gonna get my wife back. How about that?
Absolutely.
I just wanted to eliminate all them rumors too, that it's something about a baby or even me molesting a child. It's none of that. I've just told you what it is.
There were also, kind of some rumors of any infidelity. Did you want to clear that up at all? You say it's solely neglect.
Well, neglect can create suspicion, certainly. And if you're gone as much as I am, you have every right to suspect. You go to work, you go serving the community around the country, then you go with your guys to sporting events around the country, you go to other events except without your wife, hanging with you and enjoying herself with you. And so, yeah, she would have a right to suspect infidelity.
But there was none of that going on.
That's not the purpose. That's not the reason for this.
Okay. So that was TMZ. They asked some really good questions, and the fact that he stopped to take the time to talk to them, I thought was pretty cool on him, because he didn't have to do that. But in hearing Judge Mathis talk himself, what stood out to you?
So, number one, I do want to highlight what you just said. The fact that he stopped to talk made me believe what he was saying, because someone who's lying or trying to skirt around the truth wouldn't have stopped.
Okay.
Would have just kept going. So that's one thing. Number two, he said he's fighting for his marriage. And I respect that. I really, really do. But that's like that's like a person being stranded in the desert. If you don't appreciate water until the well runs dry, did you really appreciate it then? Why is it that you have to wait until someone has one foot out the door, both feet out the door, filed a divorce, whatever, for you to begin to appreciate them? And maybe that's me putting my own personal thing on it, because every guy that I have ever broken up with in life, like we were together and then we weren't anymore, every single guy has wanted me back. And this isn't me like tooting my own horn or anything like that, but this is me saying that while we were together, they didn't appreciate me. And the moment I wasn't there anymore, they wanted me back. So I look at it like, you had 38 years. Why didn't you appreciate her during the time that you had her? What happened? Why did you think that everything was more important than your wife? So that's what I hear just based off of this. I hear a man who wants his wife back, and I love that. But then I also wonder, why didn't you show her that same level of appreciation when you two were together? And then, do you want me to address the elephant in the room?
Go ahead. Yes.
The way that he deflected on that infidelity question.
Yeah, okay. I was like, I hope you bring it up, because if you don't, I was going to. What do you have to say about
It's
it?
either yes or no. Like, was there infidelity involved? No, there was no infidelity. Was there infidelity involved? Yes, there was infidelity involved. You skirted around the question by saying that's not the purpose of this. That does not say that that's not what happened. Like, those are two different things. Like, I'm big on what words say, because we just had a whole conversation about this. I'm big on what words you choose to use. There was a level of intentionality with every single word that he had right up until that question. And then with that, he does not say, no, there was no infidelity. And there was a big pause. He's like, infidelity can be assumed. Well, it can be assumed and often right. So is it right? Like, where are we going with this? Was that assumption right or wrong?
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because that's where I was going to start. The fact that he paused, and just like you said, he was a lawyer and a judge. Mm-hmm. He understands the way that you answer questions, exactly, and the words that you say and how it matters. So I don't give him a pass on that at all. A younger person, yes. Somebody that hasn't been legally trained the way that he's been trained in TV and communications and things the way that he has, I give them a pass. I'm not giving Judge Mathis a pass.
You know, he deflected.
He skirted that. He did on all of the other questions. He was very direct. He was looking at the person or whatnot, speaking. When he got to that, he did this. He did the look left. He did the eyes look left, look right, and just completely deflected. So that's what I was going to start with. I'm so glad that you noticed that part. The other thing is, he talked about how his wife was third. He said, my career, community service, then my wife. Mm-hmm. And at one point, I was kind of curious. I said, they cited the date of separation July of this year. We're just finding out about it about a week ago. So in August, his kids are ranging from 38 to, I think, the youngest being 32 or 33. I'm like, at what point, though, to give him some grace and put the heat on his possibly ex-wife now, did she not go, let me go with you? I'd like to travel with you. I'm going to contrast them, and I'm going to do a very intentional comparison here. Do you know who Samuel L. Jackson is? Mm-hmm. Do you know who Samuel L. Jackson's spouse is?
Yeah, her name's not coming to me, but yeah.
Same here. Like, I know, like, I can see her face. I don't know what her name is specifically. No disrespect, right? Mm-hmm. I know her. I know she's a Mrs. Jackson. You can't see her social media page and not see him. On his stuff, it's a mix between his public facing image and different projects and things that he's a part of, mm-hmm, and her. But what I saw on her stuff is her traveling with him. I don't know if they have kids. That's the one thing when I was taking a look at that I wasn't quite sure about. I don't know what she does outside of with her own thing. But what I did see was a spouse that supported her husband and was there and was with him at red carpet events, at other things. His wife was right there with him. So I'm curious, at what point could things have shifted to where Judge Mathis's soon-to-be ex-wife, possibly, allegedly, I don't know if that's the right word to say in that situation, why couldn't she start traveling with him as he's going to these different things, as he's doing the tapings? Babe, come with me. I'm pretty sure he would. I ain't gonna say that.
So here's where I hear you, but I counter.
Okay.
Just so, number one, the bio that you read, she does philanthropic work. So it could be assumed that she is doing these things with him. But what I want you to understand is just because I do something with you does not mean you're putting me first. That's not the same thing.
What?
So, okay. So hear me out. Because I already know the men going to eat me up in the comments when you clip this part. Hear me out, though. So you make it, and you make it big doing podcasting and all of that stuff. You make it big.
Okay.
You go out and you get invited to go here and to go there. And I put my teaching career on the side and I go out with you.
Okay.
In your opinion, yes or no? In your opinion, is that you putting me first?
No.
Why?
Because the spotlight's on me.
Exactly. So she very well could have been beside him the whole time he's doing all these things, but it's still not putting her first. She's still sitting in that third place thing, even if she is by his side for every red carpet, for every book signing, for every, showing up in all of his shows, even the reality TV show. Just because they're doing that together doesn't mean that she's falling as number one on his list. That means that they're doing something together, but the reality is it's feeding his career, it's feeding his spotlight, not them together.
I'm not buying it. Here's the thing.
But you literally just said that.
Here's the thing. Was she there with him from the beginning before the success? Yes. Judge Mathis himself has been credited by saying that his family and his wife is some of the reason for his success. I call BS on that. Here's the thing. If you have the right skill set, you're going to be successful no matter who's right there with you. And if you think about it now, 38 years later, all that success that was built, half. Eddie Murphy, half. Just like how he talked about in Raw, half. So what's the point of having that person that you attribute your success to just for them to come back decades later and say, you know what? I'm taking half of this, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
But we don't know that she's gonna go for half.
She is.
We don't know that.
It is said in the documents that were public that she is asking for spousal support.
Spousal support doesn't necessarily mean half.
And furthermore, why are you asking for spousal support? Like, here's the thing. Judge Mathis, you're saying that you're going to go fight for your wife. It's done, and here's why. She's already asking for spousal support. In her head, her lawyers are already calculating and doing the math and have told her what she's going to get from this situation. So here's the thing. This is a woman who can leave the marriage with cash and prizes and don't have to answer to him about anything about her spending or what she does. How in the world can you convince somebody to go, you know what? I'll stay with you so I can be under your program and have to coordinate all the things. And if I want to go somewhere, I got to bounce it off of you. That sounds like it's fun. No, that lady is gone.
Here's the thing. I don't think a woman who divorces someone after all of this time, I think it's like stuff that has been building up. Maybe she really does want to say, but she's not okay with being third anymore.
It doesn't matter. He can try to be like the Sept song from Jaheim. Better put that woman first. She's still done.
Because I'll say this, like, you know me, what do I value most?
Quality time.
quality time, and also like
physical touch,
and being seen seen and understood in
Mhm.
our relationship. Those things matter to me. Will I still stand by your side and make sure that every success that is owed to you, that you get it, that you were celebrated and cheered on with the loudest voice because you deserve it as a person? I surely will. But I'm saying I need you. Like, I didn't sign up for the fame. I didn't sign up for the fortune. I didn't sign up for the money or anything like that. I signed up for you. And if at any point I lose you as you have pursued everything else, it would be difficult. Like, that would be difficult to say because I choose you, not all the other things that come with it.
Hey, what's the counter to that? I need a counter quickly. That's hard to counter. All right. Earlier, I heard somebody talk about sacrifices needed for success.
Here you go.
I'm not going to say who said that.
Here you go.
I think that it's dangerous for a person, not a man, not a woman, for a person to sit here and try and juggle going after that success and finding the time for their significant other. In my opinion, Judge Mathis is saying all of this some 38 years later, right?
Mhm.
Their kids are gone, they're empty nesters. He's saying, I'm making the time, I've heard her, but I think he's starting to hear what he's about to lose. And that's what he more cares about. I could be wrong. She could have been saying all of these things all this time. And he's like, well, babe, I got these obligations. Babe, I still got to show up for these events. Babe, like, I'm going to these sporting events, but it ain't just me kikiing and ha-haing and chopping it up while watching my favorite sports teams play. I'm still networking because that's how business deals and stuff are done too. They're done in those moments where you're networking, hanging out with the fellas and the boys, chopping it up at football games. I ain't saying all the time, but sometimes that's where business is done. And I wonder if at the end of the day, she would have been really happy having him and not the lavish lifestyle that they both live.
I can't speak for her, but I would say for me personally, 100%, I would rather have you. I would rather have King than the King and Me show or any fame or fortune that could come. Like, that's how much when I like hear me clearly. Look into my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me clearly when I say I choose you. Above fame, above fortune, glitz and glamour, I choose you. It's you that I want to be with. And if I ever notice that there is a moment where that fame and spotlight and everything was coming in between us, I'm going to tell you immediately because you're the person that I choose. Everything else, it's a bonus, but it's not what I need. I don't need celebrity. So, what is it? Stardom.
Celebrity stardom.
Yeah, that. Like, I don't need that. I don't need my bank account to be overflowing with zeros. Wants and needs are two different things. I don't need my bank account to be overflowing like that. But I wake up every day and I choose you. You are the person that I want to spend my life with. Not the success, not the fame, not all of that. You.
There is a road that's traveled, and I heard everything that you just said. There is a road that can be traveled that could lead us to having to make some of the same similar decisions. And this is why I wanted to talk about this.
Okay.
There are scenarios in life that could occur that could have one or both of us on the road.
Uh-huh.
I lived a life when I was active duty Air Force because I was aviation that required me to be gone 200 some odd days out the year. For my prior marriage, I mean, it worked at the time. I don't think she had an issue. I'd have to ask her. I know I didn't have an issue, but I was also like, this is my job. I'm doing my job.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I signed up for. And to be honest with you, at any point, had she said, I can't do this, it's either the Air Force or me. I can say this as an older man. I'd be like, deuces, be gone. Because Hear me out. How many people get the opportunity to say that they traveled as much as they did in that job and refueled airplanes in the air? That is not. That is a job that less than 1% of U.S. citizens in the world in the U.S. do. I said U.S. citizens and then the world.
It's okay.
But it actually, yes, even when you factor in the world, it's less than 1% of people have the opportunity to do the job that I did. And I wasn't going to give that up for her. I wouldn't give that up for you.
Here's the thing. It's not that I'm asking you to give up anything. I would never, ever, ever ask you to give up on your dream. Especially because
you have said that before.
Especially because I believe in you and I believe in your dream. So I would never tell you to give it up. I'm asking you not to throw me by the wayside in pursuit of your dream.
And that's fair. That's fair.
And notice my words. Like, I didn't say, I'm telling you not to throw me. No, I said, I'm asking you not to throw me by the wayside.
That is a great way to say that. I hope people hear that and they can think about that as they're trying to have conversations with their significant other so that that person can hear them and hopefully understand what it is that they're saying. Because when I heard you say it just now, I'm like, that's fair. You're asking me, hey, don't put me last while you're pursuing these things. That's a different way of saying that. But is that a fair, different way of saying that? Do you have any thoughts about how that was reworded?
So I use the Bible for a reference, right? I think of Proverbs 31 and how that Proverbs 31 woman, she multiplied what was given to her. I'm asking you to not demote me, not push me down your list and ladder, and let me help you elevate and continue to multiply the gifts that you do have. But I'm asking you to not put me on the back burner.
All right. That's fair. Deal. Okay. All right. So that wraps up our show today. But before we close out, let me see. We have a couple of different things here. Tarika says Samuel L. Jackson's wife name is Pamela.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sorry, send you a Jess and wife name is Tanya. I'm not sure what that's referring
Samuel
to.
Jackson's wife's name is Tanya.
It was
not Pamela.
You're good about interpreting auto-corrected stuff. What things that's supposed to be.
This is what I do for a living.
Hey, we got Promote Conscious Parenting with the Harrises in the building. We gave y'all a public thank you and a shout out at the beginning of the stream, man. What y'all did this past weekend in hosting us was dope, allowing us to get through the spades while Michelle was learning. And we wanted to say very publicly, thank you and salute to you and your lady. They're approaching on 30. They getting up there.
First of all, they don't look like they're much older than 30. Like, can we?
That's the other thing too.
I'm sitting there like, did y'all get married as infants?
Were y'all 15 when you got married? Because y'all look good for your age.
They look really good.
Don't know how old they are, but you just got to put math together. You just do
math, and it's just like, clearly y'all got married as infants. What? Y'all were the talk of the daycare. Like, oh, can you see them? They're already married. Like, that's the only way that we can explain a 30-year marriage between the two of y'all. So that's just what I'm going to hold on to. That's the truth I'm going to walk in. I don't care how delusional it may be. That's what I'm going to say.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, that's our live stream for today.
Okay.
Tomorrow is your 38th birthday again. Yay! We are going to see each other.
Yes.
I'm really thankful that you liked your gift.
Which I'm going to show again. I just have to take it out the box because you know me in order.
So I didn't go fancy with the gift, y'all, but it was thoughtful.
It was from the heart, and that's all I ever care about.
I'm glad that she likes it. So can you tell people why you like elephants?
So I am a Delta, and our unofficial symbol or elephant that or animal that we love, support because of one of our founders is the elephant, but specifically elephant with the trunk up. So this gift has not one but two elephants, Ellies as I call them. And
Is that the plural of elephants, Ellies?
No, it's what I call them. So I have all
like
these
it.
elephants everywhere, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's his name? Ellie." Well, what's this one's name? Ellie. Why is it the same name? That way I don't forget it. So all of my elephants, I call them Ellie. So he has these two elephants that are kissing King and Michelle, and then
the
year that we were
established
established on
2022, because that is when we met each other. I racked my brain about what to do. She knows I'm not big really into gifts, and
that's like the most surprising part.
And she's not also somebody that love language is tethered more to gifts. She likes more quality time and physical touch, but I wanted something that she could appreciate, and kind of a talisman. Like, we have a bear called Queenie, and and Queenie's in that photo. She got this bear. Look, I could have looked at her sideways like she was crazy.
Yeah, but you didn't.
She got this bear a little bit after us meeting together.
I got it on my birthday 2 years ago. Yeah, so it was like a month after we met.
A month after we met, and named the bear Queenie before we even became a thing.
I told you I knew. I knew in my I knew in my heart. I knew in my heart.
So when I found out, maybe a month, like it wasn't an immediate.
It wasn't immediate. No, like you met Queenie immediately, but you didn't know the meaning behind
the meaning. Like it just hit me. I was like, "Oh, Queenie!" Like King, like it was a big
oh that aha moment.
It's a good thing I didn't run.
Yeah, it is kind of good. Thank you.
But that's our live stream, y'all. We'll be back next Friday live. Monday. Probably still in this same temporary studio.
Next Monday.
When I say Friday?
You did.
We're traveling Friday. Yeah. We'll be back next Monday. We'll just be getting back in town that day, too.
Literally.
Coming from Texas. I'll say the state. We're coming from Texas. Glad it's not triple digits when we'll be there like it was 2 weeks ago.
I told him not to worry about it. Because you have been worried about weather stuff. Like, I remember when we were going down to Virginia Beach for your birthday, you were so worried that it was going to rain on that Saturday and that we were going to lose our beach day. And I told you, don't worry, I was going to make your birthday special no matter what. And look what happened. No rain.
True that.
And then you were worried about this like triple digit. And I was like, don't worry, we'll be fine. That's a problem that can take care of itself. And looky here.
Looky here. Well, hey, we were streaming on multiple platforms to include Perry Productions. Shout out to the homie. He just celebrated his 40th birthday as well. And the coolest part about this, y'all, his mom and dad, and his dad's not a very mobile person. He served in his country as well, played sports, older in life, so injuries have kind of caught up to him. His mom and dad came out late to the club that he was celebrating and surprised him for his 40th birthday. And he got up and he did a dance with his mom. Miss Diane is fantastic. She's like...
She was getting it in that video, okay?
Miss Diane growing up, she was like a fourth mother, fourth mom. How many mothers
you got?
I got a lot of moms.
Okay, you just like me. We over here collecting.
I was always a dope individual, so people just like me.
Same.
And she was always somebody that was supportive of her kids and her kids' friends, like the people that, you know, we were good kids that just like to get out and have fun, play football and video games. And she was good with us coming over and hanging out and stuff all the time. So to the homie Peter, happy belated birthday.
Happy belated
birthday. Thank you for allowing us to stream on your massive platform with your 200-something thousand followers.
It was like 216K the last time I checked.
That's what's up. And if there's a like button on the platform, make sure you hit that like button.
Hit it.
We'll be back next week.
Mm-hmm.
We out.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Peace.
I love you.
Happy birthday, baby.
Thank you.
And I love you too. Bye, y'all.
Bye.